Do you want to do the thing that like every podcast does, where they start talking about anything, and then like they say the episode starts? So you just talk about something, and then the episode starts.
Like talk about anything?
Yeah, like we're just in the middle of a conversation, as if we don't know that it's recording.
Okay.
And then we're like, I guess this is a good place to start the podcast.
That's probably fine. I mean, we're already kind of doing it now.
Yeah,
so
okay,
I mean,
you know what? It's over.
This is probably
Hello,
fun.
everybody. Welcome to the Flockcast. My name is Adam _. I'm the head of podcasting at Flock of Idiots.
And I'm here. I'm Josh the Squash. I'm head of video here at Flock of Idiots. And get ready for our flocking podcast. I don't like that.
It's not great.
It immediately didn't sound good.
Oh,
like
jeez.
it felt sour in my tongue.
It's not good. Anyway, this is our first podcast with Flock of Idiots. In this podcast, it'll be primarily pop culture related. We'll be talking about movies, perhaps comic books, perhaps TV shows, perhaps something I'm forgetting. Video games? Who knows? It's mostly movies, I think.
Probably mostly movies.
Yeah.
Every now and again we might bring our personal life into this. We won't bring our personal life into this.
There's just going to be a full episode where I'm just like, I hit a dog today. And it's just that for the
There's
rest
going to
of
be a
it.
full episode where I just talk about all the issues I have with my father. And just like...
That'd actually be great. Anyway... So, for most of the podcast, we're going to be talking about movie news. We're going to be talking about the movies that we've seen or the TV shows or whatever we've seen and just talk about that. But for this podcast, the way that I wanted to start it off was, since 2017 just ended, we're going to talk about the best and worst movies of 2017. We're going to dive into all the weird categories and talk about everything we saw, everything we loved, didn't like, fucking vomited during, left during, peed during, everything, every movie.
Oh, I didn't put it on. Oh, okay. No,
What is that? You wanted a category where, like, I peed during this movie?
Yeah, totally. That's what I wanted the category. It was like this movie just, it made me, like, we have, like, the best movie that made you urinate and the worst movie that made you urinate for, like, the two different
That would
reasons.
actually be funny, a category of, like, the movie that I had to go to the bathroom most times during. Because I'm sure I could figure out which one that is. 3 times during fucking Dark Tower.
Oh my god, like, honestly, like, something about this movie, it just made the smoothie go right through me.
I missed a solid fourth of it in the bathroom.
All
Anyway.
the exposition.
Okay, so we have a few categories picked out, and we have our top 5 movies, but we're going to save that to the end. We also have worst movie and most okay movie, but we have a bunch of side categories that are just fun and weird. So you can actually start. Pick your favorite category, and we can
Alright,
start.
so if we're gonna pick favorite category, I think, why don't we just completely cut to the end?
No.
I'm so hyped for 2018. No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
not doing
I think, when I was looking at it, I was thinking, one of the movies I completely missed, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the category is the movie that you completely missed. The movie that you did not see and didn't even think about because it just completely blew you by.
Completely passed me by.
Sure.
I think it's out on, like, Netflix or Hulu now. A movie that came out this year called Colossal.
Oh, sure.
I had to look it up. I guess it's a movie Anne Hathaway was in, where she's like this down on her luck kind of gal, but there's like this giant Godzilla type monster terrorizing her city,
right?
And somehow they're connected because the monster moves exactly whenever she moves.
Yeah.
And that's all I know about it, and I don't know anything.
So, did you see the trailers when it was, like, coming out, or did you just completely miss it?
I think I completely missed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I remember seeing the trailers for it. I just also knew that I wasn't going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it came out in theaters. It might have. Who knows? So, for me, the movie that I didn't even register, I saw a poster for it, and then, like, last month I saw it in Redbox, and was like, are you serious? This happened and no one talked about it? The My Little Pony movie.
Oh, God.
I guess I just don't live in any social circle that talks about this kind of thing. But you think this would...
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, you think this would at least be, like, have kind of memes or jokes about how bad this movie was, or people talking about, like, this is horrible, this is whatever, this is weird. It was nothing. It just didn't happen. I mean, I guess that's not my fault because it's also a kid's movie. So the other one that I have for this category is Suburbicon.
Suburbicon, okay.
I saw the trailers for it. I was like, I'm gonna see this movie when it comes out. And months passed, and I didn't even realize that it came out.
Part of me really did actually want to see this movie because I knew about it from like before even trailers were happening. So you remember I took that singing class, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like a year ago. My teacher, her son was in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. So he plays like a minor bit role, but I think he plays the main kid, one of his friends, and so there's a scene where they're all playing basketball or baseball. I mean, I know for sure that he's in that part. So I wanted to see it just to like see her kid, and then that too just completely like went right by me. Just George Clooney's directorial debut. However, I heard as a directorial debut, it was not a good one.
Was it his actual debut? I didn't realize that.
For being a director, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. That's funny. Anyway, those two. So I'm going to choose the next category. I'm going to do most forgettable movie that you did see. The movie that you saw that you just don't think about in general. Like, the movie that, like, it doesn't necessarily be bad. Mine was bad, but, like, it's just something that you don't talk about with anybody, nobody talks about, and you just forgot about it right after you saw it. The Dark Tower happens. I don't remember it. I mean, I do. It's not something that, even as like a pop culture reference, you can be like, remember the time in Dark Tower that was so bad or funny or weird? It was bad, dude. God.
The only thing I remember is every time he had to say that oath, he did it like 5 times in the movie, more than that. And each time it was the full thing.
There's no abridged version of the oath.
There's no abridged version.
If for those of you who forget your father, you won't forget your gun. I don't remember the oath either.
Like, all I remember about the movie is that Idris Elba was in it, and his father was played by the Allstate guy. So, like, whenever I think of the oath now, it's like, for those who forget the face of his father, just remember that's Allstate stands. Are you in good hands? Like, that's all I remember.
That's actually fantastic. What's your most forgettable movie?
My most forgettable movie. And this time, okay, well, this would be a fine segue. My most forgettable movie that also ties into what would actually be my worst viewing experience for 2017 for seeing a movie.
Okay.
All right, so there's a reason why I don't remember this movie. Kong, Skull Island.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the story behind this, right? So 4 of us, me, Adam, and 2 of our friends, Marco and Mitchell, we went to go see Kong, Skull Island. So we get to the movie late, and Kong Skull Island was had a pretty modest, opening, so it was pretty good. We get there, and the theater is packed, so we're sitting in the very front. Like, the very, very front, with the seats that recline so you can actually see the screen. Kong Skull Island has such so many action sequences, and it's flashing lights and stuff like that. It's giving me a headache, so I'm shutting my eyes because I can't actually look at it. In shutting my eyes, I make myself tired and sleepy. So I finally, I'm just you know what, guys, I can't do anymore. I have to move. There are 2 seats further back. Our friend Mitchell is like, oh, I'll go sit with you, so we move and sit. By now, I'm sleepy, though. So here's another action sequence coming on. And my eyes just get so heavy, and I drift. And then I hear a loud crash, and I wake up. And I'm like, I'm thinking it's the end of that same action sequence. So I look over at Mitchell. I was like, dude, I think I just fell asleep. He's like, did you? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh. He's like, don't worry. You didn't miss anything. I look at the movie screen. John C. Reilly walks into his house, hugs his wife and son. Credits start to roll. I slept through the entire movie.
Just the whole thing.
The entire thing. I never once saw Kong.
What was the action sequence that you fell asleep to?
I
thought it was when Kong shows up.
I did see Kong.
And then you missed
exactly when he showed up.
Island.
He shows up and he's fighting helicopters. And what woke me up is what I thought was a sound of a helicopter crashing to the ground. And it just wasn't. It was the whole movie is just gone. I have no idea what happened in that movie.
Wow. That's pretty good. I don't have a worst viewing experience, so you can just pick the next category, I guess.
Well, I guess going into worst viewing experience, it goes into I don't know, best viewing experience?
Yeah, let's do best viewing experience. That one's fun.
Yeah, well,
So, best viewing experience being the movie that, it doesn't have to be good or bad, it's just the most fun you had with the people in the theater, or the most fun you had just watching a movie. It has nothing to do with the movie itself. It's a personal experience. So go.
So I suppose my best viewing experience. So I don't know if any of you remember this. There was a movie that came out around Christmas time called The Star.
Can you please describe the plot
I
of The
will
Star?
describe The Star.
It is an animated film.
It is an animated children's film about a talking donkey who saves Jesus.
Yeah, he saves an unborn Jesus.
An unborn Jesus.
He saves Mary and Joseph.
Yeah.
Before they give birth to our Lord and Savior Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's amazing. It's actually got a star-studded cast. Like Oprah Winfrey's in it. Keegan-Michael Key is in it.
Tyler
like
Perry.
I think Tyler Perry was in it also. A lot of these people are in it. And you know, it's just a story of nativity. Mary, Joseph, the three wise men, and then you have the animals, like the camels they're riding, the donkey, like all these things.
Yeah.
So,
but why was it a good viewing experience?
Here's why it was one of my favorite viewing experiences of 2017. Adam really wanted to see this movie.
He did.
And for the life of me, I could not imagine why until he broke it down. He's like, you have to listen. This is a kid's movie. Coming out right alongside Coco. No one is going to see this.
No, more than that, it was a Saturday night at 9:55 to see The Donkey. No one's going to be in the theater.
No one.
And the three of us show up, and no one's in the theater.
Yep, it was me, Adam, and our friend Izzy, and we had the entire theater to ourselves.
So it was just the three of us making fun of the movie and screaming at it during the movie and running like across the theater like an idiot. And it was really fun.
It was amazing. We were doing shadow puppets on like the projector screen.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was a good movie. It wasn't a good movie, actually.
It was a terrible movie.
It was bad.
It was very not good, but like for jokes, it was amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite bit is so there's this part where they're on their way to like Bethlehem, and their wagon breaks down, and so Joseph is trying to like lift up the wagon and change the wheel, and he looks up at the sky, and Adam starts doing a bit about Joseph's inner monologue, and he's just like, "Come on, God, just give me a little superpowers. I just need them for a bit, just like an hour or two. Just give me superpowers.
Some kind of superpower. Just help me out. Come on. I don't need to fly. I just need some kind of super strength, heat vision, something."
Oh.
Anyway, my that is one of my favorite viewing experiences of last year. The one I chose was different. Animal Creation came out, and that's not a good movie. It is horrible. It's actually really funny, but the reason it was my favorite viewing experience is because I saw it with a group of people. They were my high school friends, and we all saw it on opening night. And the theater, the audience, the theater was packed, and everybody knew it was a bad movie. So anytime something remotely scary happened, everybody was like, "Oh shit, no, fuck this!" It was like being on a roller coaster. It was hilarious. And like whenever anything bad would happen in the movie, people would comment on it. There's a part in the movie where the girl is approaching a ghost girl who's looking out the window from behind, and the ghost girl is like, "Can you help me?" And the normal girl is just like, "What do you need?" And then the ghost girl turns around with a demon face and says, "Your soul!" And the theater loses their minds because it's hilarious. That was a really fun time. It's good to see a bad movie once in a while.
That's really good. I think that reminds me of when we saw It.
Yeah, that was a lot like that.
Yeah, so we saw It opening night as well, and it was amazing. So I highly recommend seeing movies on opening nights, especially if it's like a lit movie. If it's a horror movie, you get to be so loud.
Yeah.
And I love it.
You do. You get to scream and shit.
My favorite part of It. So if you guys haven't seen It, spoiler alert, there's a bit of a love triangle between the girl and two guys. You have like the skinny stuttering kid, don't know his name, probably not important, he's only the main character. So then we have the best character in all of cinema, my boy Ben, right? Just a chubby little kid. He's the new kid in town, just trying to make friends. He meets this girl and she's nice to him, and he's like, "You're really cool," and they have this genuine connection. He's like her secret admirer. He writes her like a poem, and it's so cool. And so in the end, right, the girl is like she's like trapped under like Pennywise's kind of like hypnosis or whatever. And like I don't know, like it's like fucking True Love's Kiss or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're trying to snap her out of it. And Ben like kisses her, and she snaps out, and the whole thing is going nuts. And I'm just sitting there like, "Yeah, Ben, fucking make moves, boy!" I was so hyped. Ben is the best. And then you have the fucking scrawny kid who can't speak for shit, and for some reason, they just keep trying to push these two together, and it's like, no, what are you doing? That's not. They have no connection.
I'm sure Ben will get his in the next movie.
He has to.
They set it up so well that they have to.
He better, because those the scrawny kid and the girl kissed in the first, at the very end. Mm-hmm. They had the actual oh, I'm gonna miss you two in the kiss, and my knee jerk reaction, I screamed at the screen, just Ben, fuck him up.
Get him.
It was just get him.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
That's pretty funny. Okay, I'll do the next category. It's my turn, right? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do best hair. Because I like hair. I mean, I don't, but why not? It's funny. So you can do best hair for a guy or a girl. I have both. Best guy with hair was Thor from Thor Ragnarok. Because he had cool, he had short hair and it had cuts in it. It was really neat. And best girl with hair was Rey from Star Wars. Because I didn't realize how much I like her haircut. It's got 3 little buns in a row. And it's neat.
Not bad.
Who'd you pick for best hair?
So for my best guy for hair is actually his mustache. Hercule Poirot.
Oh, fantastic.
From Murder on the Orient Express.
That's a great choice.
It was an amazing. So I guess it took them hours to create that mustache every day. And originally they were going to go with a pencil thin one. No. And then I think Ridley Scott, right? No, it's not. Kenneth Branagh. I'm so stupid. Because Kenneth Branagh directed this too. He was like, yeah, no, we're going full course. And it's so big. My favorite part is he's sleeping and he has one of those eye masks that you wear over your eyes to block out light. Except he has that for his mustache. So it's completely contoured perfectly for his mustache, and it's amazing.
That's pretty funny.
I love it.
Do you have a best girl with hair?
So best girl with hair. I was thinking about it, and I don't. It's just it's simple and it's whatever, but I love Charlize Theron from Atomic Blonde.
Cause she had a few haircuts though.
Her natural blonde hair when it's down just like that. I just keep thinking. I think her whole aesthetic. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I didn't like the movie.
I kind of liked it. I didn't like the end.
I liked it, but I didn't like it. But for the most part, with the movie, what it was for me, it had an aesthetic, and I loved it. So she was just so cool, and her hair does wonders for that.
That's a good choice. There are some good ladies with hair. Wonder Woman had great hair.
Oh.
Adam Driver had great hair, but he's not a lady. Anyway.
I mean...
What?
I don't know.
Anyway, pick your next category.
Okay, next category. Wonder Woman did have great hair, which was also... Okay, so to that end, Wonder Woman was one of my most surprising movies.
Oh,
for 2017.
Biggest
surprise. So DC does not have a good track record.
They don't. Nobody thinks so.
They don't. So Wonder Woman's coming out, and none of us think it's going to be good just because it's DC. I'm I'll see it because it's Gal Gadot and she's the love of my life. But I mean, other than that, what's it got going for it? And so one of our friends, she saw it opening night. She's like, "You guys have to see this movie. It's great. It's amazing. It's whatever." And so we're all like, "All right, we'll go see it." So we go see it, and none of us expect it to be actually a really fun superhero movie. I guess by the time it when it came out, it had 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was really high.
It was really high, and we watched it, and I'm so surprised that you'd be surprised what DC can do when they just make a fun superhero movie.
Yeah,
when they're not trying to be gritty.
When they're not trying to make Superman a really sad man who's conflicted about saving people. When
they don't just when they stop using the color gray and start using actual colors, it's so good. I never would have guessed. Patty Jenkins, my hat's off to you.
Yeah, it was really... I was surprised by that, too. I think the ending was stupid, but I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
It was a really good superhero movie.
I think it was really good.
So I have a good one for biggest surprise for the movie. Because you haven't seen it, even though I told you to see it. It came out around Halloween, and it was probably my favorite horror movie. Oh, well, that's not true. It and stuff came out. And Get Out came out, too, so never mind. And it wasn't a horror movie. What am I saying? if you haven't seen The Babysitter on Netflix, you really need to.
Oh, yes.
I saw it, when I saw it, the setup was I saw it with somebody else, and they were like, my dad worked on this movie a little bit, and he thinks it's horrible. It's one of the worst movies ever. So I was like, okay, I'll see a bad movie, whatever. And it starts in the beginning, and I'm like, wow, that's really well shot. Wow, this acting's pretty good. That dialogue's pretty sweet. And then I'm 15 minutes into it or 20 minutes into it, I'm like, this is just a really good movie, isn't it? And then the movie continues to surprise me and be really funny and have like good tension and good character development. And it's just really fun to watch. So it's on Netflix. You have to see The Babysitter. I was shocked that it was such a good movie.
I actually can't. I must have just forgot. So we're adding that back to like the movie just missed you by in 2017.
Yeah.
Like I just completely forgot to watch it because I was going
I think
to.
everyone did. I forgot to say what The Babysitter was about. It's like a comedy horror about like one of his kids' babysitters turns out to be like some kind of satanic cult ritual thing, and he has to escape his own house. And the first time when like the babysitter murders somebody, the guy has like a really shocked expression in his face because up to that point it was actually just a really nice comedy. And like blood spewing out of this guy's head, and on the screen it goes, "What the fuck?" in bold text across the screen. It was such a good movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll check it out.
Also, for biggest surprise, I put this isn't like a full movie as a surprise. It's just something about a movie. And that was Split is in the same cinematic universe as Unbreakable.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we saw that, that freaked us out for a little bit. Because Bruce Willis just shows up at the end of Split. And it's the weirdest thing on the planet. Because what's he even doing there?
Bruce, yeah.
He's just having coffee and just like waiting to be a superhero or something.
So I love it because I haven't seen Unbreakable, so I don't know the plot. But like, I'm only left because it's so terrible. He seems so sad in that scene. Like, almost like, he's like, he reminds me of that one villain. What was his name? He's like, Mr. Glass. And it's like, almost like, he seems like Mr. Incredible, like, after the glory days. He's like, my super villain. And I feel so he just seems down on his luck. Like, he looks like he works like an auto shop now, and this is all he has to do now with this incredible gift he has. And I'm like, you poor man. You poor man.
I didn't see Unbreakable either, and that's why it was such a surprise to me, because I didn't know it was a reference to Unbreakable when Bruce Willis shows up. So I was just like, what's Bruce Willis even doing here? That's pretty funny.
Okay, so we're gonna backtrack a bit, because I also, like, so Split, I really did like the movie, but that was also my only other bad viewing experience of 2017. Reason being, so for any of you 90 kids out there, you might remember a little show that used to go on like WB on 4Kids called Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was my shit. Fucking loved Yu-Gi-Oh! That first season, that first show was great with the Millennium Puzzle, all that. That's the only Yu-Gi-Oh! I've ever liked. So they recently came out with a new movie called Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions with the original cast, and I really wanted to see it. We were supposed to double feature it. We were supposed to see Yu-Gi-Oh! And then afterwards see Split. We didn't end up seeing Yu-Gi-Oh!, which made me so incredibly salty. I cannot tell you the bad mood I went into watching Split and how that carried way through the entire film. And how we're in the car after, and Adam and our friend Mitchell, they're raving about it. If you guys don't know Mitchell, he produces our Flock of Idiots videos. So he gets together all of our equipment and our crew and things like that. He's great. We wouldn't have Flock of Idiots without Mitchell. But they're in the car and they're raving about this movie, how it's so cool and all of that. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I mean, it was fine, whatever, I guess. I mean, like,
it's no Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's no Yu-Gi-Oh! Like,
there's no Shadow Realm, so what's the point? I finally get around to actually watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions, and it's amazing. Oh God, are you just gonna review Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I'm just gonna say this one part because it's
fine.
like it's. I was this close to putting it for best year for 2017, but I'm like, it's an anime, it's a cop out.
Yeah.
But I will say, so there's this one part in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Where the main villain, you know, the first part, he's just an unassuming teenagers going to their school. These bullies get a hold of him, right? And they're in like this abandoned like warehouse. These bullies have him, and they have like a video camera, like they're gonna torture him and film it.
Gross.
And these are like high school bullies. At any rate, they have this whole thing where it's like, hey, you're a movie star, we want to see if you can cry on cue. Oh no, we'll make you cry. And then one of the boys is like, yeah, and it ain't gonna involve an onion.
That's pretty good.
And it's the worst line I've ever heard.
That has to be like garbage translation or something, right?
But that's the thing though, it's immediately followed by one of the actual like best lines I've ever heard in like film history. So he goes full villain and he's like, I'm going to erase you from existence. And he's like, I'd say you'll be history after this. but history is remembered. And he just kills them all. And I'm like, that's like, the whole movie is just like that. That's the whole movie. It's like the epitome of just like halfway out of the dark.
What a great line.
I don't know what to say about it.
That would terrify me if somebody said that to me. That'd be horrible.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Anyway, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Wins our category for best Yu-Gi-Oh! movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you did Biggest Surprise. I'll do Biggest Disappointment next. So the movie that let you down. And boy, oh boy, I'm wondering if we have the same movie. Is it Kingsman?
Kingsman is one of my movies.
Okay, mine is definitely Kingsman.
Yeah.
Kingsman 1 was fantastic and had such good action and ideas and everything. And Kingsman 2, like, Colin Firth, like, heals a bullet to the head, and Channing Tatum's in it, but he's in a coma for most of the movie. Why would you get Channing Tatum if she's not going to be kicking ass the whole time? He's one action sequence for, like, less than 5 minutes, and it's so... This could have been a movie where, like, I don't care if Kingsman blows up. I don't know most of the Kingsman agents, and it's fine if they all die. But you could have had, like, the new young underdogs starting to take it over. You could have had the new Lancelot, who's the girl whose name I do not remember, who had a good relationship with Eggsy that was set up, that she just dies. And
I hate it.
She's gone, and Channing Tatum shows up, and he's gone. It could have been about those three and having young spies save the world again.
So good.
Instead, in the end, it's just Colin Firth and Eggsy fighting, and I don't care about Colin Firth. He's dead. It's fine.
Yeah, and Colin Firth's got like PTSD or something
it's
now.
It's not like he made the movie in the first one. He was cool, but like it was neat just seeing someone become... He was the
mentor character.
Yeah, it was cool someone become a spy. That's the part that I liked about Kingsman.
And that's the thing. The point of the character Colin Firth is playing in the first movie is to die.
Yeah.
He's the mentor character. Literally in movies, their role is to die, so the main character finally has that last push he needs to take on the role he needs to take in the rest of the movie. So, so this is actually for both of my most, because this is my second most disappointing movie.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But this one and my actual most disappointing movie, which you already know about, have the same thing. I pregame both of them.
I don't think.
Yeah,
okay, go for
it. Kingsman. Right before we saw Kingsman in theaters. I watched the first Kingsman before I watched Kingsman 2.
That's good.
And having literally just watched the first Kingsman, not even an hour before we watched the second one, everything is so... It's like it's backwards. Mm-hmm. It's like it would have... If this had been the first Kingsman movie, and the first Kingsman had been the second Kingsman movie, it would have worked fine because it would have been such a natural progression. Mm-hmm. Everything about the first Kingsman movie is so much bigger with so much... less.
That's true, huh?
It's like, because even the evil plan. Here's the evil plan of the first Kingsman movie. I am an internet mogul. I'm giving everyone free SIM cards so they have free access to internet and everything. And everyone's going to take it because, of course, free access to internet calls and texts. I don't have to pay anymore. One, it's going to fuck up the world's economy, but I mean, hey, whatever, I'll get free stuff. And his whole evil plan is that he's going to use those chips to send out a signal that messes with people's brains and makes them go crazy. So people just start slaughtering each other.
Sure.
Without consent. And he's like a cool villain. And that's the whole plan. And it's so big. I'm actually about world domination. This villain... I just want to make drugs legal so I can like put my business on the stock market.
I forgot that was her point, that she just wants to make drugs legal
so
she can be like
so she can be a legitimate business person.
Yeah, so she can be legitimate. Like I kind of get what they're going for in the second movie, where like the only people at risk are drug users, and are they worth saving? And the assholes are like, no, they're not, and the good people are like, yeah, of course they are. But man,
but because that's my point. Because here's the thing, though. How is it that she's the one who knows about Kingsman, though? And she's the one who's like, I need to take out Kingsman, and blows up all of Kingsman. All their agents just gone.
I don't know
why. For her?
Yeah, I don't know why it was specifically Kingsman that she was after, too. It could have been anybody.
Yeah, like, she doesn't know who the statesmen are, either. So it's like... So, Kingsman 1 was great. Joke about the butthole notwithstanding.
No, actually, that's only the one thing that I liked about Kingsman 2 is that the lady he had like butt sex with is the woman that he's in love with.
Yeah,
and it's not even like, I feel bad because like I had butt sex with her, so I had to date her. He's actually genuinely in love with this person.
I would like it so much if I like his relationship with Roxy Moore. That's her name.
Yeah,
Roxy. Lancelot. Right. and I love it so much more. They're actually really good friends, and like they would work so well as a couple, and then they just kill her off. I feel like it's because they knew that. They knew that like she would work so much better as his girlfriend than the other girl.
I just don't
and they just killed her off.
I just don't think Roxy and Eggsy had to have like a relationship. It's fine. Like we don't have a lot of just like guy and a girl who are the same age who are just friends, and I think that's something that would be better as opposed to like, oh, they need to be romantically involved. It would have been great if that she was just the partner, like she was the new Merlin or something.
Oh, that
but she
been
also
cool.
kicks ass when she has to.
That would have been even better. Except they make her die.
Yeah, because I do like his weird romantic relationship with the princess he had butt sex with, and I think that's adorable and really charming. Anyway,
it's nice. No, I love.
Yeah,
My actual favorite line from the film. Oh, that's right. Elton John is in Kingsman 2, isn't he?
Jeez, that's one of the worst things on the planet.
Oh my god. So they do 2 callbacks to the first Kingsman movie. Mm-hmm. So Kingsman 1, if you haven't seen it, the big line that, the only joke that I guess doesn't work in the film is like he's going to save the princess and he's like, hey, if I save the world, will you give me a kiss? And she's like, if you save the world, we can do it in the asshole. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay. Leaves. Mm-hmm. In Kingsman 1, they have this cute moment where he's going off on a mission, and she's like, well, if you save the world, well, you know what happens after that.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it's cute. They joke about butt sex.
Yeah, they do it in the booty.
And literally, so Colin Firth meets Elton John at the very end, because like the lady's keeping Elton John prisoner. Mm-hmm. He meets her at the very end, and he's like, if I save the world, can I have tickets to one of your concerts? And Elton John's like, honey, if you save the world, you can have a backstage pass. And I literally, like, before he said the line, it's like my brain connected it before he said it. So in my head, all I hear is Elton John going, honey, if you save the world, we can do it in the asshole.
We can do it in the butthole.
And his Elton John voice. Oh my god, the movie was just, it was not fun.
It's going to be hard to pick it back up because now Colin Firth's still alive for some reason.
Yeah. And now they're
Roxy's
both Galahad
dead.
Instead of like one being Galahad and the other being someone else.
I'm sure he's going to be Arthur, whatever. Anyway, you want to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
Oh, yeah. So, my biggest disappointment for 2017, Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
I've been watching it recently. I haven't finished it yet. I'm like almost halfway done with it.
Oh my god, it is such a terrible movie.
It's horrible, actually.
So, all of our flockers out there, our Flock of Idiots fans, who we don't have yet because this is our first podcast, but we will eventually.
Yeah, we'll get some.
What you'll all come to know about me is that I am a huge Disney fanatic. I love all things Disney.
It's weird.
Everything Disney. Shut up. No, I love everything Disney. I'm a huge Disney fanatic. Pirates of the Caribbean, I actually like as a trilogy. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I watched a video essay on YouTube about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I watched the whole thing. It was an hour long at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was so tired, but I couldn't stop watching. It was really good. I'd recommend it. Mm-hmm. Then a few days after that, I was like, hey, you know what? Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Curse of the Black Pearl is on Netflix. I'll just watch it, see if it holds up. Mm-hmm. That movie holds up.
It's good.
I love the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. If, like, in a perfect world, that would have been the only Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It would have been that great movie that just stands alone in time. It's perfect. Or, I've always said what they should have done with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, turn into an anthology series.
Yeah.
And just make every movie about different pirates of the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have 1 or 2 characters that cross over from time to time again, but
Sure, that makes sense.
Jack Sparrow does not have to be a main character.
Yeah.
He works best, though he did in the first movie, as a side supporting character who, like, is, like, always the smartest person in the room. Mm-hmm. Jack Sparrow does such a great... Johnny Depp was born to play Jack Sparrow in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Sure.
It's a great role. They write him as just a regular pirate, and Johnny Depp brings to it this, like, he has this thought process of pirates like the rock stars of the old age. Mm-hmm. So he watched a bunch of, like, Rolling Stones and Mick Jagger videos and, like, older rock stars like that, and he modeled his performance after that. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where Disney was literally like, what the fuck are you doing? This is weird. Yeah. Are you supposed to be drunk?
He's
or like
ruining our movie.
And Johnny Depp was just like, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the role. Either you like it or you fire me and find someone else. Mm-hmm. And they were like, all right, fine, do your thing. And it turned out to be like one of the most iconic roles of like the early 2000s.
Yeah, sure.
And he does it so good. In the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean, they butcher all of that.
Because they turn him into a raving alcoholic
They
who
do.
does not even have a handle on anything.
He's just a sad man.
He's a sad,
He's
drunken
just
man.
a sad sparrow looking for a nest.
Oh, that's
it's
horrible.
so terrible. So in the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, they have this scene where he's running away from these people and he's doing his Jack Sparrow Johnny Depp yell where he's like, ah! He's like Kermit the Frog, like, ah! Slowly through the course of all the films, he's slowly just become just that.
Yeah.
Like, that's his only character trait, is that scream and being drunk. And his whole I can't tell you. And it's terrible because I saw the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie only a few days after watching the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and the difference is night and day. You have such a good Pirates of the Caribbean film. Johnny Depp is a great character. They have this really great moment so the whole thing about his character is that everywhere he goes, everyone's constantly underestimating him. He gets mutinied by his first crew, thrown on an island with one bullet, and he makes it off, and there's this big story behind it with sea turtles and like hair off his backside. It's really great. And he's also kind of like a charlatan, so it's like, yeah, that's not the true story, but like he's infamous.
Yeah.
So then, he gets captured by the people. He's like, you have a compass that doesn't point north. I have expected your sword to be made of wood. You have to be the worst pirate ever. And he escapes them. He's like, you remember this day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. And then there's this great moment in the end where he gets caught by his old crew and they're about to shoot him. Barbossa's like, just kill him. And Jack is like, the girl's blood didn't work for you, did it? And he turns around, and you can tell he just hates him. He's like, you know whose blood I need, don't you? And Jack Sparrow just cracks a smile, and he's like, I know whose blood you need. And he's just sitting there like leaned up against an oar, and he's just the swagger,
Yeah.
He's in complete control.
He's always been like a tipsy, he always seems like an idiot, but he always has something up his sleeve, and that's what the defining character trait for him is. But in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, he doesn't have anything, and he is actually waiting to die because of how drunk and sad he is.
It's so terrible, and they do such terrible. The choices they make in Pirates of the Caribbean 5 are just it shits all over what the other movies have come up with.
It's pretty bad.
And not even that the other movies are so good, but I mean, even the fourth movie that everyone was like, this is the worst movie in the franchise, was better than this movie. And the worst part is this movie is jumpstarting a new, I think they're going to have one or two more movies after this.
I don't want it.
Which is really weird, because this movie was like, this is the last Pirates of the Caribbean adventure, but what they meant was this is the beginning of the end.
Oh, gross.
So we still have one more movie to wrap this up, or two more movies to wrap up everything. And it basically just made the fourth movie a filler episode.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So at least the fourth movie, he still had some of that Jack Sparrowness,
Sure.
The second and third movie they're kind of in their own category, because the first one was this great standalone, just kind of adventure, where his whole thing is just, I want my ship, and I want the horizon.
Yeah.
I'm a pirate because I want my ship that's the fastest ship in the Caribbean, so I can be free to do whatever the hell I want. And then the next two movies are like, hey, so remember that my ship that I wanted? Turns out I sold my soul for it, and now my new motivation is to steal the devil's heart so I can make him a deal. Hey, I'll give you your heart back if you give me back my soul.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, Pirates of the Caribbean 5, it's not good, and I don't want anything else to happen afterwards. Okay. You pick the next category.
That probably delves into franchises that should die.
Oh yeah, is that your choice for the franchise that should die? The winner of franchise that should die award.
So let me check my notes real quick. Yes, we have notes. If you think we're doing this off the top of our heads, that's what you get for thinking. I'll do mine
if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Transformers. I don't think people have liked that movie since the second one. I mean that's the movie where everybody started hating it, and it never tries to be good in any way. I don't see why. I guess they still make their money back, but I desperately wish they didn't. So we can just get an animated Transformers movie or something, as opposed to Michael Bay trying to just what was it, the fourth movie or something, where there's a whole scene where Mark Wahlberg's daughter is 18 years old, and he's just and she has a boyfriend who's older than that. Mark Wahlberg's like, that's against the law, she's underage. Yeah. That's a whole scene in an actual Transformers movie. Whatever. Anyway, that's my choice. What's yours?
I think my choice is probably either, I think for me it's torn between franchises that just need to stop or be rebooted, or is either the DC Cinematic Universe, they just need to go back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah, they should start over, shouldn't they? I'm fine with that.
They should just go back to the drawing board, or I think the Fast and Furious franchise just needs to end.
Really?
Let it
I
end.
thought people were liking it.
I didn't even see the 8th one.
I haven't seen
I don't
any
think
of
anyone
them.
saw the 8th one, but I think the 7th. I saw the 7th one, and here's the thing about Fast and Furious movies.
Mm-hmm.
If I had seen the Fast and Furious movie, I'm sure it would have been my most forgettable movie.
Sure.
Because I find it so hard to remember the plots of those movies. I will not lie though and say that when I see them in theaters, I have the most fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fun. I haven't watched almost any of them. I saw like 2 of them, and that's it.
Yeah, they're the funnest like movies just to watch, and like they're stupid, but they're fun.
Yeah.
So, but I think like to end the series, so R.I.P. Paul Walker. He was a great thing.
Sure.
I think the 7th movie ended with them retiring the character, and so they have this whole scene at the end, and like I'm not gonna lie, it brought a tear to my eye.
Mm-hmm.
So Vin Diesel has his monologue about how you'll always be my brother. We're everything, wherever you go, you're always my brother. And so they're driving, right, and it's just them. They're having a race, and then they turn one way, and Paul Walker's car drives off, quite literally into heaven. He just drives. He just drives into the sunset, and like the sun like bleaches out the screen, and everything goes white, and the text pops up, and it's like for Paul. And I'm like, that would have been such a good place to end the series, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And so Fast 8 came out, and I didn't see it, but I guess the plot revolves. I guess Vin Diesel has a son now.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess, this is how forgettable movies are.
Sure.
I forgot one of their characters was killed off and then brought back to life.
Nah, that's good.
So they have Vin Diesel's first character, Letty, his first girlfriend, and she dies in the 4th movie. All right, and in the 5th movie, he gets and so in the 5th movie, they meet up with Dwayne the Rock Johnson comes in.
Sure, yeah.
And Dwayne the Rock Johnson has the second in command, this girl, and I guess at the end of the 5th movie, which I also don't really remember the plot, she decides to defect to Vin Diesel's side. And they end up in a relationship by the start of the 6th movie.
Okay.
So the 6th movie, they're in a relationship. And then Letty is revealed to be alive. And so him and Letty get back together. And she's like, I belong with the law anyways. And I'm like, what?
Okay.
And in the 8th movie, it's revealed that I guess he got her pregnant. And now he has a son. And that's why he turns evil. Because the main villain is like holding his son hostage.
That's
his
a
son is, like, 2
spoiler.
or something.
That's a spoiler. Oh well, I wasn't gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it your turn to pick a category or mine? I think it's yours.
I think it's...
Because I just did biggest disappointment.
No, we were on Franchise Need to Die.
Oh.
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay, sure. Then I'll do best trailer. Actually, yeah, let's just do best trailer. Let's get out of the way. For me, it was hard between Avengers Infinity War and Spider-Man Homecoming, just because not Spider-Man Homecoming.
No,
Spider-Man
okay.
Is it Enter the Spider-Verse? What is it?
I think it's
Into the Spider-Verse. Never mind. Because I love superhero movies. And I love the Avengers trailer mostly because it's cool just to see everybody come together in a really epic way, even though they're all torn apart. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an amazing trailer, set to great music, and it's just really well animated and cut together. And I love Miles Morales, and to see him come into the theaters in such a cool way, I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. I hope Spider-Ham is in the movie.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Spider-Ham would be so cool.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be in it, but that'd be great. Anyway, what's your best trailer?
So for me, this was like probably the easiest choice. Hands down, best trailer for me was Logan.
That's a great one.
Logan was a great trailer.
I hurt myself
today.
That was perfect.
It's perfectly set to music, everything. My favorite part about it is that you can look online Logan style trailers where they'll just have, and like the beats are so there. Like they have the song playing, then they play a lot of stuff, then the song ends, then they have one final snippet of like dialogue, and then like you just cut to the title. I saw one for Doctor Who, and it was hilarious and amazing.
I saw the same one for Cars 3.
Oh, did you
Because
really?
in the Cars 3 trailers, it's super dark, where like Lightning McQueen's like fading fast, and then he like tumbles as if he's dying, and it's hilarious.
I love it. It's hilarious because then you have, like, for the Doctor Who one, it was like the end bit, and it was like I will make you feel banana, and then like the Doctor's like, everything ends.
Oh, jeez.
Dun, 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 and like cut to the title.
I want to see that. That sounds funny.
It was amazing.
Okay, so yeah, pick your category.
Okay, from best trailer, I vote to go to our movies that just didn't stand a chance.
Oh, I
just
love
the movies that
one.
never got past the trailer.
It's the movie that was a horrible idea to make a movie to begin with.
Yeah.
Everybody saw the trailer and like, this is a bad idea, and then it bombs in the box office. It did not stand a chance.
Yeah.
So what movie did not stand a chance for you?
Just that didn't stand a chance for me. Chips.
Oh,
not stand a chance.
I almost put Chips.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Just didn't stand a chance. I saw the trailer, and here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was one... So first I see it, and I'm like, is that old Eric Estrada TV show? Like, why would you make a movie out of that? It sucks, because had it been a different movie, it would have had a lot of stuff going for it.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Pena was in it, you had Dak Shepard, Christian Bell, great comedic actors.
Is Dak Shepard the blonde guy with the...
Yeah, Dak Shepard.
That's a horrible choice for a lead actor.
He's Christian Bell. Well, I like it when him and Christian Bell are anything together, because they're actual husband and wife.
Okay.
There's exactly one joke in there that works for me.
Uh-huh.
The only joke is, so it starts off, I guess Dak Shepard, in the trailer, he shoots his partner, and his partner's like Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And so his like commander is like understandably very upset, like, you shot Dave, man. Come on. And so later in the trailer, I guess Dave is now on like leave because he's been shot, so he's on like paid leave. And there's a shootout between Dak Shepard and Michael Pena and the criminals, and Dave is just in the store when this is happening, and he gets shot as an innocent bystander, and he's just back in the captain's office. The captain's like, dude, you gotta stop shooting Dave, man.
Stop it, man.
Come on. And that's the only joke that works.
That's pretty good, but I can't believe that movie got greenlit.
I cannot believe it. Nothing else in that movie worked at all.
Yeah, it came out in theaters. That's surprising. Mine, my most disappointing... Wait, no. That's not the most disappointing. Movie that didn't stand a chance. That's it. Fucking Geo Storms.
Oh, yeah.
What a horrible... That movie...
I almost put Geo Storm.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. And like when anybody saw the trailer, it's just like, really? Another like disaster movie with Gerard Butler or whatever?
Was that Gerard Butler?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I was about to say.
Who's Gerard Butler?
I don't know.
Whatever. It actually could have been. I don't know. But I remember after the movie came out, and I knew there was no chance I was going to see it because I didn't want to spend money to see it. I saw a headline that said, Geo Storms slated to lose $100 million.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I was like, yeah.
You have to think about it. So, me and Adam, we both have Movie Pass.
Yeah.
And Movie Pass is this great service. Hashtag not sponsored.
We're not sponsored. I wish we were sponsored.
I do wish. Hey, Movie Pass, hit us up. Mm-hmm. You pay $10 a month, and you get to see any movie you want. You get to see one movie a day. The only catch is you can't see the same movie twice.
Yeah.
So we literally do not have to pay for like a regular $14 ticket to go see movies, and both of us were still like, "Do you want to see Geostorm?"
No,
we're
not
going to see Geostorm. It's just a waste of time.
I kind of wish we did see it though, because apparently, like, it's also a very bad movie.
Oh yeah,
like it's just horrible. But anyway, that did not stand a chance. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Let's do actor who can't catch a break. An actor who might not be a bad actor, but they're just in movies that just don't work. I have two. Mm-hmm. One is, I had to look up his name because I didn't know it. Dane DeHaan. Do you know him?
No.
The guy from Valerian.
Oh.
I like him because he was in Chronicle, and I love that movie.
Oh crap!
In this movie, he was in Valerian and A Cure for Wellness. Both of those movies did not do well.
Yeah.
He can't. It's not working out for him. He was also in the Spider-Man movie, or The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That wasn't this year.
Oh, okay.
But like, he was also in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and you'd think like,
he was the Green Goblin, wasn't he?
I'm gonna become the Green Goblin. I'm gonna be a famous supervillain, and it just didn't work out either. My second actor who just can't catch a break, especially for this year. Other years he's fine. This year was horrible for him. Matt Damon. In this year, Matt Damon was in 3 movies, which was The Great Wall, Suburbicon, and Downsizing. All 3 of them did not work out.
You're forgetting.
Except The Great Wall. I'm sure that did well in like China or something.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I think we're forgetting the one movie he was in that was just amazing.
It's true.
Thor Ragnarok.
That's right.
Cameo.
He did make a great cameo in Thor Ragnarok. And the thing is about those 3 movies is that they're not bad choices. Because like The Great Wall, like it's an international movie. Mm-hmm. You're the lead actor. It makes sense. It's huge budget. At Suburbicon, like you get to work with George Clooney again. and it's like written by the Coen brothers or something. It makes sense. And downsizing just seems interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't get it right this whole year, and that's horrible. Anyway, who's your actor?
So you must have updated the list since I downloaded it to my computer.
Probably.
I didn't have that. I don't have.
Really?
I don't have that.
You can take Matt Damon then.
I'll take Matt. So Matt Damon was in just
just horrible,
just terrible.
That's funny.
Well, let's give me some time to think, and we'll come back to it at the end.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to think.
Yeah, it's hard to think. I think right off the bat, I kind of want to say this is probably fine because I haven't done anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all from the Star Wars films. I want to say Adam Driver from the Star Wars movies.
He was in Logan Lucky this year, and that was pretty well done.
I haven't seen Logan Lucky.
People said he did a good job acting in that movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So in Star Wars, they make Adam Driver like Kylo Ren. He's just a bitch in the whole movie.
He's just a big old.
There's no other way to describe it. He's just a big old bitch. She's just a crybaby who likes to take his shirt off. He's got a big body and a little face. He looks like 75 pilt potatoes on a pillowcase. He's not. So they do terrible things. So if you haven't seen Star Wars, watch Star Wars. Spoiler alert.
No, don't spoil Star Wars
what?
for people. That's
okay.
horrible.
Fine, I won't spoil Star Wars.
Just say why he can't catch a break, and that's
so he can't catch a break because just the character they make him play is awful.
Sure.
So he's just a big baby. Mm-hmm. He has all these. He's so quick to anger, and he's like, "Do this and do it now." And it sucks for everyone else who's a part of his side because they have the added misfortune of him also being the only person on their side with magic.
Yeah.
So it's like, not only am I a big baby, but when I throw a tantrum, you're probably gonna die. And that's Adam Driver's whole character.
Like, we do a mutiny, but he's got telekinesis, so there's nothing we can do.
We do a mutiny, but he has a sword made of plasma, so...
For me, why he can't catch a break is because he probably spent a lot of time working out and bulking up for that shirtless scene. And everyone makes fun of him. I feel so bad for him in that sense.
It just was not worth it.
I have a shirtless scene coming up. I do have to bulk up for this role, so I'm some kind of intimidating figure. And everybody thinks it's the weirdest thing they've ever seen.
Oh, God.
He's like, dude, that guy looks so weird.
What kind of a vile... So when me and Adam saw Star Wars, we were in the theater with our friend Derek. And the most hilarious thing... Kylo Ren comes on screen, and the first thing Derek says is, "What kind of a vile creature is that?" And it just sets the tone for the entire movie.
Anyway, we only have a few more categories before we get to the big ones, the best movie and such. So,
is it mine?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so let's go into best animated movie.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Go for it.
Okay, so I think best animated movie right off the bat for me. Just told you guys, huge Disney fanatic. Coco.
Yeah,
Coco for me was great.
Sure.
It brought tears to my eyes at the end. I think just everything I was looking for in a children's animated movie was great. Psych! It was the star. Oh my god! No, I'm just kidding. Coco, just hands down was perfect for me. There's not enough good things I can say about that movie.
Sure.
Dante, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. We're somewhere over the rainbow.
With a bunch of dead people. All the dead people. Yeah. So for me, the reason Coco isn't my movie of the year, or my best animated movie of the year, is. One, I talked to you about this already, so you've heard this before. But one, it's the cliche where we're being chased, like the main character and his weird buddy are being chased by the antagonist who could easily catch up with them, but they just don't because I don't know what they're doing in their spare time. They're just very slow. It's not that big of a deal. I still love the movie. For me, the reason that it puts me off is because it's the worst afterlife I think I've ever seen in any movie. Where if you're famous, you're going to be fine in the afterlife. You'll live a long and rich, healthy life in the afterlife. If you're poor, you're probably going to die again. Once you die, you're going to die again.
Probably going to die again.
Well, probably soon. If a whole family is taken out, because the way it works is that you have to spread the stories of your family members, and you have to have somebody remember you in that sense. If a whole family dies at one point, they're erased from existence. They're in the afterlife for 2 seconds before they just go. and die again, but in like a way less satisfying way. But anyway, I love the movie, and it was actually pretty beautiful, and I'm really sorry for shitting on Coco.
No, you have to remember, it was 100. You remember 150 animators made that one shot. So many pixels.
Oh man! But my best animated movie is Lego Batman movie.
Gosh, yeah, Oscars now.
Yeah, Lego Batman movie's not nominated for best animated picture, and that infuriates me because it's like it's got a lot of heart. But it's such a good Batman movie. But it's just so funny. And every line is a joke. And I absolutely love that movie. I saw it 3 times. On the 3rd time, I'm still like laughing my ass off.
It is.
I also noticed something weird. So there have been 3 Lego movies, right? Every single one of them has to do with fatherhood in like a weird way.
Oh,
the first Lego movie was about a kid playing with Legos who needs to relate with his dad who won't let him play with Legos. The second one is Batman trying to become a dad. And the third one is the Green Ninja trying to connect with his dad.
Oh, fuck.
And that's like the real plot of the last 2. It's all about being a dad. Then the first one is also just has about being a dad, which is weird.
I think Lego's trying to tell us something.
I know, it's really weird that Lego has dad issues.
Holy crap.
Anyway, I'm going to pick the next category.
I'll go for it.
Let's just do the movie that Rotten Tomatoes got wrong. In that sense, the movie that Rotten Tomatoes rates too highly or too lowly. I have both examples for you, Josh. I liked Lady Bird. It was a coming-of-age movie that I felt I could relate to. It got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for a long time. It might still have it, I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't. I've seen coming-of-age movies, and they've all been like that. It's not that great. Like, the acting's fine, the story's okay. It's all, like, the acting, the mom in Lady Bird, she did a great job, the main character was fine. It just wasn't that spectacular, and I cannot for the life of me understand why everybody loves this movie so much. To the point where it's like, it might win Best Picture of the Year. I just don't get it. But,
I think, so, that's good. I think my issue with this category was that I rarely ever go on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not, when it comes to seeing movies, you and I have very different times when it comes to movies. I'll like most movies, and I'll be like, yeah, that movie wasn't that good. I don't really look at reviews and stuff like that. But it's funny to hear, like Rotten Tomatoes reviews of certain movies. So I think my one that I think they got wrong, which is the only one I really looked at this year, was Wonder Woman, which I just raved about earlier in the podcast.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think it was really good. But what I'm hearing about it is it's like, oh, this is like 98%. This is the highest rated superhero movie in in the history of ever right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's gone down since then, or I think Spider-Man beat it or something like that.
Yeah.
But for a time, it was the highest rated like superhero movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think it ever deserved that spot.
No, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many better ones, like
There have been so many better ones.
Captain America 2.
Or Dark Knight. Like,
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, it's like, I think those are, it's like credit where credit was due. It's a great movie, but I mean, it just goes to show, I feel like, Rotten, like, don't trust the crowd, kid.
Yeah, but for me, because I did have one where Rotten Tomatoes rated it too low, even though I liked it.
I'd like to hear.
You'll probably agree with this. The Greatest Showman has a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's a crime.
That was a
that's
very
a
good movie. That's a musical for those of you who don't know, and I've listened to the soundtrack a lot after I saw the movie because it's really good songs. The acting is really cool and the visuals are amazing.
It's really.
I don't understand why people hate that movie.
I don't. So for any of you who like La La Land, it's the same guy who did the music for La La Land did the music for Greatest Showman. And I was apprehensive to watch it because in watching the trailers, the only thing I could ever think about is this was the movie Hugh Jackman left the role of Wolverine to play. Like, he's coming off Logan, 17 years playing the one character. It's this great movie, like, you cry at the end. And it's like, his next choice is just this. But the movie itself is really good. A lot of people forget Hugh Jackman started off, and still is, a classically trained theatrical Broadway, like, whatever the British former West West End actor, you know, and he does musicals like he played Gaston in the Broadway musical of Beauty and the Beast when Disney did it.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and so musicals are his thing, you know. Case in point, what's it called? Les Miserables, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Les Miserables. Also, if you want to see Zac Efron in a musical again, you can go see The Greatest Showman. Because it's not a High School Musical, but it certainly is a musical.
It's not a High School Musical, but it's certainly a musical with class.
So,
hey!
so let's get towards, before we get into the most okay and the worst movie and the best 5 movies, let's just do, before we get into that, best movie you didn't see.
Okay.
And then let's just get into the actual higher categories. So, best movie you didn't see, what is it?
So, best movie I didn't see, I have it between 2.
What was that?
The first one is a legitimate movie that I wish I had seen.
Sure.
I'm also slightly into anime. And just like that, half our fans are just cut. We just alienate ourselves.
I mean, they got all the way to the hour mark. So so actually, I don't know.
It's too late now. Gotcha, bitches. So I do like anime. I believe it's called Your Name.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that movie.
Your Name came out.
It was supposed to be good.
Yeah, I think this. I could be wrong, but I think this is the movie everyone talked about as being the first anime film to like break $1 million or like $1 billion or whatever the box office that wasn't a Miyazaki film.
Yeah, sure.
And it was supposed to be really good, and I have no idea what it's about, and I would really I wish I had gotten a chance to see it. My second movie that I think is the best movie that I wish I'd seen that I didn't get a chance to see, Girls Trip.
Oh, really? I didn't think you were going to say Girls Trip.
I didn't think I would either. Girls Trip, I have only heard good things about it.
Yeah.
You watch the trailers and it's like, this is just The Hangover, but with girls. It's weird. They're just they're getting drunk. I hear it actually has like really good comedy.
Yeah.
Just great comedy.
It's true. I could have seen Girls Trip on the flight that I was on.
Really?
But I don't think I could have pulled it off.
You mean you think you pull it off?
Just other people saying they're like, oh, he's watching Girls Trip.
Oh, other people? I don't
think so.
You're just not secure enough within yourself
I guess I'm not.
to be seen watching Girls Trip?
I just learned I'm not.
No, I wish there's actually a lot of actures that I like.
It's true.
Yeah, which is it's fine.
It's true. I've heard nothing but good things about that one. But do you still want to talk about Girls Trip, or can I do mine?
No, do yours.
Oh, sweet. Because I think mine is actually the one that might be the movie that you wanted to see. I'm not sure. Blade Runner 2049.
Oh,
I know you didn't see it, and I didn't either.
I didn't.
Because the reason... first of all, I don't blame myself for this, because whoever owns Blade Runner are idiots. Because when you make a sequel to a movie that came out like 20 years ago or whatever, you put it on some kind of platform where everybody can watch it so they see your sequel. Like, I'm pretty sure for Jigsaw, like, you can see all the Saw movies on Netflix. Every single one of them. So if you say, like, nah, I can't see Jigsaw, I haven't seen any of them, you at least can do that. But there's nowhere, like, on Hulu, on Netflix, on anything, on Amazon, you can't see Blade Runner. And I'm not going to pay to rent Blade Runner because I'm not a millionaire who can just spend $2
you think I
at any moment.
$2.99 to watch Blade Runner on YouTube? What
Dude, I don't even think it was on on Redbox or anything like that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like, I eventually did see it on the plane ride that I was talking about because, like, for some reason it was on the plane, but it wasn't on Netflix. And, like, Blade Runner's fine, and I would have really loved to see Blade Runner 2049 because everybody says it's great. But the reason it bombed is because there's just nowhere to watch the first one, and nobody's going to see a sequel that's like a critically acclaimed movie without seeing the first one first. Anyway, that's mine.
Yeah, that's the same reason I didn't see it. I didn't see the first one.
Yeah. And that's even my aesthetic, too. I love, like, cyberpunk shit.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's looked really cool. I would have watched it.
Whatever.
I don't know. I think Mitch saw it, so...
Yeah.
What was that?
Anyway, let's do most okay movie. What movie, Josh, in the year of 2017
I have one more
hit you? What's that?
Best movie that I missed. John Wick 2.
Oh, you didn't see John Wick 2?
No,
I also didn't see John Wick 2.
I want to go back and watch the John Wick franchise though, because I hear they're just stupid, mindless, just action.
Yeah, I mean, it might be fun.
Which I'm fine for.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's getting a TV show.
Oh yeah, that's not a good idea. Anyway, what movie in the year 2017 hit you right in the middle that was just fine? You might see it again maybe, but it happened.
It took a lot of thought into this.
Sure.
To figure out what film was just, because I saw a lot of okay films, but like, what was the most okayest?
The most okayest, the most bland.
And I've come to the conclusion, the most okayest film that I saw of 2017, Triple X: The Return of Xander Cage.
Fine.
Yeah. So, I am a fan of the Triple X franchise. In many respects, it's almost like the Pirates franchise. The first Triple X movie it's pretty good. It's this fun kind of action. I saw it recently. It's this fun like action movie. He plays he's this guy. He's an extreme sports dude. The government is like, we need someone of your type to be a spy for us. And so yeah. Second movie happens. Vin Diesel didn't return, so they killed off his character. Now, third movie happens. I guess his character didn't really die, and has been living in hiding for however long.
Right.
Return of Xander Cage has good action, but it's so weird because it follows nothing that's been set up by the rest of the film series.
Sure.
Like they do this weird thing where I guess they took the concept of Triple X and turned it into an actual like government thing. So now you have like all these characters like, yeah, I was Triple X too. And so what Triple X Xander Cage is, it's like an Avengers style movie of all these Triple X agencies, and the only one of them that have had movies are Xander Cage and Ice Cube's character from the second Triple X movie. All of them are just like, yeah, we were all Triple X at one point, and it's like, what?
I'd actually like to see that.
It's
like,
weird. It's
other like famous action stars who just go by Triple X.
They're not even really famous action stars. They're just people. I think Donnie Yen is in it, and Donnie Yen is pretty cool. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I'm Triple X. Also, the girl from Vampire Diaries, I forget his name, the one who was dating Ian Somerhalder.
Sure. That
girl, she's in it. And she plays this character. She's like the tech character, you know. She's smart with gadgets.
Right.
Also, she's like weirdly horny.
Okay.
Throughout the entire film.
All right.
Like she's like with like the guys and the girls. She's like, wow, that was really hot what you just did. It's weird.
Sure.
It's weird. It's like you, like at any point if someone to offer, it's like it's not. I feel like she wouldn't like actively go for it, but if you were to offer, she'd be like, oh yes, instantly. Of course.
Anyway, so that's why it was your most okay movie, because there was a very horny lady for some reason. And it was fun. It was fun.
I saw it, but I wouldn't watch it again.
So, yeah, that's a good point. My most okay movie was a movie I straight up don't remember, even though it seems like something that would excite me to no end. Power Rangers 2017 came out.
That was almost my most okay movie.
Yeah, that movie was fine. Like, the characters seemed pretty genuine, and like their relationship seemed pretty okay. They didn't wear their costumes until the last 15 minutes of the movie or so, and the rest of it was just training by hitting rock monsters or something.
Yeah.
And it was really boring. And one of them gets a suit for a little bit, and he's like, "Guys, this suit's so cool," and then he loses it, and he's like, "Aw," and then he just doesn't wear the suit until the end. They fight in their suits for about 2 minutes, then they get in their mechs, and they don't fight in their suits again. And they don't even have their special weapons.
Yeah.
Their mechs look like Transformers, and they play the Go-Go Power Rangers theme for a little bit, and it's kind of weird.
Do they really?
Yeah, I think when they all get in their mechs and they're all
charging. Oh, they're running,
yeah. There's a weird Krispy Kreme brand deal that I guess they had.
Yeah.
That really offset the course of the movie.
That's funny. It's like, here at the center of the universe. Just Krispy
Kreme. Anyway, I don't think I'll see it again. If they announce a sequel, I might not be excited, which is sad.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
So apparently MTV is making a Power Rangers TV show.
It's unrelated.
It's unrelated. Yeah, I'm slightly excited for it, but like the movie didn't like bode well for me because here's the thing. What's his name? John or what? Not John. Whatever.
Yeah.
Jeff. I don't know. He reviews movies. The guy who like his rating scales is how much alcohol you need to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
The way he described it is really good. He described it as what the movie really is it's just like a longer version of a Power Rangers episode.
Sure.
It's got the same beats. Most of the episode they spend not in their costumes until the last bit, to where they fight in their costumes for a little bit. Then they spend the rest of the episode fighting in their mech suits. Here's the thing, though. The movie, all, like, the heart of, like, what made, like, old Power Rangers good as a kid show is taking out because they're trying to appeal to, like, a more mature audience,
right?
Which is not good. Also, when we saw this in theaters, we missed the very first scene, the flashback scene.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which most people have told us is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty.
Also, this is also the same day we saw Kong Skull, so just all the movies that day were just all the view experiences that day were just not.
Yeah.
But also,
Kong
I think we forget there's a joke in that movie where the kid from True Jackson VP jerks off a bull.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No
He jerks off
that.
a bull in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he's like,
something.
he should be fine. I just milked him. He's like, this is a guy bull, and the kid's just like, oh my god, like it's funny.
All right, so let's just do worst movie, biggest affront to God. Why, oh why, Lord? Why have you forsaken us with this movie? Is it the same movie? Do we have the same movie?
I'm gonna say shoot on three.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Emoji
Percy
movie.
Jackson. I don't know why I said that. It's the Emoji movie.
That didn't even come out this year.
So yeah, the Emoji movie. I'm pretty sure they canceled the animated Popeye movie that they're gonna make for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
which
right.
would have been so much. I heard, well, it was either the Popeye movie or I think it was the Sly Cooper movie.
Yeah. Oh no, they did cancel the Sly Cooper movie. That's
which
right.
Either of those I would have so much rather have seen.
I just don't understand. I don't really want to talk about the Emoji movie that much because I'm sure mostly everything's been said about it. Because it really is just the epitome of like executives making decisions that just don't work because they don't really understand what people want. But it's whatever. It happened.
Yeah, we won't.
So now let's just dive into the top 5 movies. So I'll do my 5, and then you do your 5, and then we'll do 4 together, and we'll just count it down like that.
What?
I'll say my
okay.
5th movie,
Okay.
and you'll say your 5th movie. I'm not gonna just do all of mine at once. You do all your ones. So, what was your 5th? I want to see if these line up too. I don't think they will, but let's see.
So,
what's your 5th best movie?
My number 5 was Thor Ragnarok.
That got 5?
Yeah, that was 5.
That was almost 5 for me.
So, well, I base these on quality of the movie and also viewing experience, and also how many times I've seen the movie since then. Also, whether or not I did or was willing to or am willing to buy the DVD of the movie.
Sure.
And Thor, I'm definitely going to buy the DVD when it comes out. Thor Ragnarok was everything I was looking for in a super movie. So Logan notwithstanding, because I have thoughts on Logan and how I don't quite consider it in the same vein of a super movie as the other Marvel movies.
Sure.
It was just comedic in like the best possible way.
Sure, yeah.
And to me that was great. I think all my life, because Thor has been the weakest of like the Avengers for me. And this movie is just... It put him like right on top. He's now my favorite Avenger.
Sure, that's good. My 5th one was Baby Driver. I really love the soundtrack and the feel of Baby Driver, and I'd love to see it again. It's weird going back and probably seeing it with Kevin Spacey because the whole time you see him, you're like, you're a bad man. But eventually he gets hit by a car, so that's fine. I just love the aesthetic, and I love Edgar Wright, and it's weird that it didn't get higher up in my list, but.
Yeah, it is.
It had some sexism problems that people had trouble with. I get that, but I mean, I still like the movie.
Yeah.
My 4th movie of the year was actually Thor Ragnarok. It took me by surprise. I mean, like, Thor is not a great series of movies, and this one is such a good movie with a lot of improv, a lot of really good jokes.
Yeah.
Like, Thor throws Loki as an actual move that they've done before. It's
amazing.
Like they say that like we've done this before and I don't want to do it. And he just tosses Loki at somebody. What's your number 4?
So my number 4 is actually Beauty and the Beast is my number 4.
Oh, gross.
So yeah, just circling back again, Disney fanatic. I love it. anything Disney. I'm also a really big fan of musicals, so love The Greatest Showman. That was fun and great. And Beauty and the Beast is just, as a remake, it leaves much to be desired. It is pretty much just like the same movie. But what I look at it more as seeing is it's just like if I went to go watch a stage version of the movie. It's just a musical. And as far as musical goes, I think it's done pretty well. Don't get me wrong, there are flaws. It's flaws, but I think for the most part, especially, it was also one of my more favorite viewing experiences of 2017 because I saw it for the first time in IMAX. I think the movie itself was just fun musical that I had fun watching.
Yeah, sure. I thought it was all right. It's not even on my list though.
No, yeah,
not even close.
I don't know. I review it more as just it was a fun movie experience, and I did buy the DVD. So I mean, hey.
Fine. Do you want to say your third? What's your third best?
Okay, so my third is Coco. 2 Disney movies in a row.
What is this nonsense?
Coco, like I said, it brought tears to my eyes at the very end of it. Coco was really good. I think a lot of the bits work. The music was really fun in Coco. Un Poco Loco is my favorite song.
Oh yeah.
And their second rendition of Remember Me is really good.
Yeah.
It's a straight, just right in the feels Disney movie.
It's all about family.
It is.
And that's a good family movie.
Also, I feel like it's a cross between The Wizard of Oz and Footloose, and I think
that's weird.
That should be enough to make you want to see the movie alone.
I guess so.
When you watch it and you understand what I mean, then you'll know.
Well, speaking about family animated movies, my number 3 is Lego Batman.
Hey.
I cannot understand how it made it this far on my list, but I just love Lego Batman. It's got I just love the fact that every single line in the movie is a joke. It never stops, except when it tries to get emotional, and it does that pretty well too.
Yeah.
And it's got all the Batman references that you could ever want. Probably ever, because there are just way too many of them. And it's just such a fun, good film. And Michael Cera as Robin is perfect casting.
No, it's the role he was born to play.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Alright, so going into number 2. I'll do number 2. And this is weird, because I didn't talk about this movie yet. My number 2 for me is The Disaster Artist.
Ooh.
I thought it was just because it's a real story. James Franco has the best performance ever, doing a perfect Tommy Wiseau, and he's weird and he's funny and he's almost scary, but oh god, that movie had such great humor and it was a true story and it was weird and I loved it.
It was pretty amazing. Have you seen The Room?
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I didn't make my list, because I feel because we saw the movies together.
Yeah, sure.
And it almost made my biggest surprise of 2017. But I think I'll say this: I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen The Room before, and I still haven't seen The Room to this day. But I think there are just bits in there that I think if you've seen The Room, that would have just been more fulfilling for you than they were for me.
Sure, yeah.
Which is why I don't think I made my list, but it was generally good comedy. I loved it.
Yeah.
My number 2. Your number 4, Baby Driver.
No way! That was number 2 for you?
It's my number 2 movie of the year. It is my... as far as original IP goes, not that there were that many from this year, but even if there had been more, it's my favorite original IP.
Yeah, that was mine too, actually.
I think the movie is everything I'm looking for. I resonate with Baby Driver on a spiritual level. She likes to drive fast and loves loud music, and if that doesn't describe me, I don't know what does.
That's perfect.
It's really good. Kevin Spacey's acting again is really good.
Yeah, I like John Hamm.
John Hamm is his performance is really good too.
Yeah.
When I was looking up best trailers, I saw the trailer for Baby Driver 2, and it's an amazing trailer. Everything about it is just, to me, it's everything I'm looking for. I thrive on subtlety, and Edgar Wright is a master of just subtle foreshadowing.
That's true.
I love it. Everything about it to me is just a great movie.
It's really great. So, do you want to do your number 1 movie? Number 1 movie of 2017.
My number 1 movie.
The best movie of 2017.
The first one, the gold medal goes to. I've talked about it already. Logan.
Really?
My number 1 of 2017.
Man.
Logan, I loved it. Earlier when I said Logan, notwithstanding what I mean, Logan, not even as a superhero movie, just as a movie, is great to me, because what Logan is not as much a superhero movie, but a Western with like a superhero movie just like slightly layered on top.
Sure.
Which is also the same thing, because I love the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight movies too, and I'll say the same thing about those. They're Christopher Nolan movies first and Superman movies second.
Batman movie second.
Batman movie second. Yeah. Is Batman not a superhero, Adam?
No, you said... Well, I thought you were talking about the Dark Knight, so you said Superman movie second.
Oh, superhero movies. Oh, shit, my bad. I rescind that. We'll edit this part out. But that's what Logan is. Logan, I feel, is more of, like, the epitome of a character over many years in a Western style story, and then it's second an X-Men movie, which it was so good. If it weren't for Deadpool, I would have put the X-Men movies on my list of franchises that need to die, because I don't think they'll get any better than that.
Yeah.
But like the relation between Logan and his daughter and like Charles Xavier, everything about it to me is just perfect.
Yeah.
It's a great movie start to finish.
It really is a good movie.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I should see it again. It's just so hard to watch because it's super dark and gritty.
It is. Also, I bought the DVD of that too, so yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, my number one movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
I love superhero movies, and the thing that Spider-Man just does differently is that it's such a ground level superhero movie. Most Marvel movies are about the most important people in the universe doing the most important things in the universe, saving the planet, overthrowing governments. I think at one point, I don't know. Delving into mystical shit. But Spider-Man as a character is just a kid living in a world of superheroes, and he's trying his best to become one of them. And I think that's just such a great story to tell, where he's just like a neighborhood hero, but he wants to become an Avenger and become one of those elite fighting forces that protect the world. And it's just... Because, like, Avengers as themselves, like Avengers 2 and whatever, you don't really think about what it's like for other people just living in their world. Yeah. And it's neat to, like, see, like, kids reference the Avengers shit and make jokes about them. And, like, Hannibal saying, like, I think Captain America's a war criminal. Yeah. It's great to have just to see what it's like to live in that world and have a personal story like that for Spider-Man. And I loved Michael Keaton as Birdman. I know he was the Vulture, but he's always Birdman to me. He was a great villain, and probably the best Marvel villain, because there aren't that many good Marvel villains. Yeah.
He actually is. He's a really good Marvel villain. I love that, and I love Donald Glover, Charles Gambino as Miles Morales' uncle.
That's great.
I love it. All of it. It's a really good movie. I would honorable mention it in my top 5. It's in my top 10, definitely. Yeah. I think the only thing that puts Thor Ragnarok above it is just the style of comedy they have is different, and I'm more I like Thor's style of comedy better because it's more just banter.
I get that.
Like Spider-Man is more situational, but it's all still good. I love it.
Man. Yeah. Well, really so that's it for 2017.
For 2017.
It was a year where movies were made and were watched. So what are you excited for 2018?
2018. So I have 4. So are we doing like one thing that we're most hyped for?
I didn't actually make a list. Just talk about whatever you want.
So my 4 most hyped ones that I wanna see. My most hyped thing I think is Black Panther.
Yeah, sure.
I'm more hyped for Black Panther than I am for Infinity War.
Sure.
And I don't know why. I don't know. I
mean, Black Panther's in Infinity War.
I know he is. I think it's just that like line in the trailer where she's like, "Don't freeze," and he's like, "I never freeze." I think I was like, "Oh, it's so cool." The trailer is great. It's also a really good trailer for 2017, especially with the music behind it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really great. So I'm really hyped for that. I'm also hyped for Deadpool 2. Cannot wait for that.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I love the Deadpool franchise. Yeah. It's the only thing keeping X-Men afloat right now.
Yeah. Will they make it good or will it be bad? Who's to say? It'll probably be good.
It'll probably be pretty good. Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, Ryan Reynolds really loves like the Deadpool character.
It's true, yeah.
So I think it's in good hands with him. And then naturally Disney. I'm excited for Incredibles 2.
Oh my God, that's this year, huh?
That's this year. I cannot wait.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh, I can't. I keep seeing like the memes online where it's like Incredibles comes out this year, and like someone will respond, it's like, "Keep your crying ass kids at home. This movie's not for them." And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like Disney should have a separate release date just for people who are over 18 to go watch like Incredibles 2.
That'd be nice.
And then I know you're also hyped for this Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It doesn't come out to December.
Into the Spider-Verse.
So, yeah.
That's probably the movie I'm really excited for Avengers Infinity War, but God, that movie has a lot of style, and it's Miles Morales, and I love him, and hopefully there'll be just different like versions of Spider-Man, like maybe Spider-Gwen.
Oh,
and
be cool.
What is it? Spider-Pig? Is it?
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham, that's it.
Peter Porker.
And maybe like Spider-Man 2099 and shit.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I hope they don't fuck it up. I don't trust Sony even a little bit.
I hope being an animated movie, I would love it if they can get like even other Spider actors, because I would love for like if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield agreed to voice.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
They have that part in the trailer where he's talking to like what I can only assume is another Spider-Man, and him being like, "Oh, so there are other Spider-Men out there." Yeah, and I think it would be so cool if that Spider-Man is voiced by one of the actual Spider-Man, like either Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, or even Tom Holland. Yeah. But if it was Tobey Maguire, I think I would love it. Like, yeah, there was Spider-Man, dude. And to get back like some of the old Spider-Man voice actors, you know, you have Drake Bell in there, the guy who played him in Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris voiced Spider-Man at one point.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else am I excited for? I guess just Avengers. Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out this year, and I didn't even think about that movie. I'm not sure if I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I kind of want to see the Wasp do things, but we'll see if that's good. I am excited for Black Panther, and I think that's it. Can't think of anything else. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's the end of the podcast. Do you want to say something?
So,
make it short. I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want.
So, this is our first podcast. First time doing it. I want to thank you guys for listening, all two of you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You're really nice.
There's got to be. Yeah, that's a good point. There's got to be like 2 or 3 people listening to this.
Yeah, right. There's got to be. All right. How many people do you actually think will listen to this podcast?
This has been almost... I don't know how long this is going to be after it's edited, but it's over an hour. So, all the way through, 2 people.
2 people?
Listen to it the first 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
15.
How many think you listen to a good chunk and just like actually like it and come back next week to listen more?
I hope a few at least.
A few? Okay.
Yeah.
So so Adam is head of podcast. I'm head of video. We make these sound like they're like actual titles, but like Flockovich is our own thing. He does a podcast with the videos.
If you want to tweet at me at Adam the character _ and then the word _. That actually might not even be my Twitter, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to anyway.
Yeah. So if you want to get at me, I'm at Josh the Squash 96 on Instagram, Josh the Squash on Snapchat, and Josh the Squash on Twitter. You know, it's the same thing. Josh the Squash, hit me up, peoples.
Well, good.
Also, Adam doesn't know this, but we're in competition.
Was that?
Our videos have our first video got a cool 150 views on YouTube. That was our very first video. Actually, I think more like 170 views, something like that. No, 150 or 170.
Whatever.
Our new video has been up for a few days. Already has almost 80 views. So if this podcast doesn't get more than that, Adam, know that I'm better than you.
I'm probably gonna lose. It's fine, whatever. Anyway, next week we're gonna watch a movie. We're gonna review that movie. I don't know what it is yet. I should have planned that before that. Probably. Anyway, we're gonna talk about movie news. We're gonna talk about what we watched. And yeah, look forward to that. Hopefully it'll be funny. So yeah.
So hop back at us, peeps.
Don't forget to flock yourself. Fuck it. Let's just end it now.
I was gonna say same flock time, same flock channel.
That's worse. Alright.
Don't forget to flock.
Alright, bye everybody.
Later, flockers.
That's the end.